just when you were starting to master estimating square roots and cube roots, they want you to do it with a word problem, a dreaded word problem. But hopefully by now, we have helped you to realize that you do not have to be intimidated by a word problem. In this case, we have a person named Wyatt. He wants to make a play area for his new puppy. The play area is going to cover 2 square meters. We have a diagram to the right, and it's going to be in the shape of a square. How much fencing should Wyatt buy? Now, as you start to do calculations and do some mathematical problems, don't forget what we're actually trying to discover. How much fencing should Wyatt buy? Now remember, lots of times when you're buying materials, it's okay to have extra. What you don't want to have is too little. So notice they've already had the sides of the squares for us, the square root of 2. Well, how did they get that? Well, remember, we have a square here. So if I have a side and I square that side, I'm going to get the area, which in this case happens to be 2. So if I try to find out what the side is by taking the square root of both sides, I get that S equals the square root of 2. So now, why did they leave it written as the square root of 2 or root 2? Well, because lots of times the square root of numbers are messy, long, irrational numbers, and it's a lot more neat to just keep it as the square root of 2. So that is all fine and good, except for now we kind of need to know what the square root of 2 is, because I want to know the perimeter of this square. I'm buying fence to go around the outside, which is the perimeter. So I have 4 sides, and I have 4 sides that are the square root of 2 in length. So I need to find a decimal for the square root of 2. Well, when I put that in my calculator, I get the number 1.414213, and so on and so on. And I really don't feel like using that long number every single time. So what am I going to do? Well, a good rule of thumb is to estimate the square root by truncating or dropping the digits after the first 2 decimal places. Okay, so if I take the digits after the first 2 decimal places, which would be here, and just eliminate them, I can use 1.41 as a good approximation of the square root of 2. So now I have my approximation of the square root of 2. What am I going to do? Okay, well remember, I'm trying to find the perimeter. So I need 4 times 1.41, which is going to get me 5.64. So I need approximately 5.64 meters of fencing to fence in this area for the new puppy. Now remember, this answer involved estimations, and I really want to make sure that I don't have too little fencing. So I'm going to be better safe than sorry, and I'm going to bump that up to 6 meters. And I'm going to say I need 6 meters of fencing, because if I get 6 meters, I know I'll have extra, but I'll definitely be sure that I have enough. Okay, so remember, do not be intimidated by the math problem given to you in words. Simply read it and interpret it. Go ahead and try your own word problem, and the got it at the bottom of the page. Page 83, got it, letter G.